China has a land size of around 9.6 million square kilometers, making it the third largest country in the world by land area. However, China was much larger than 9.6 million square kilometers in its height. China's territory was 13 million square kilometers in size during the height of the Manchu Qing Dynasty, according to historical records. But the Qing government's weakness and incapacity gradually reduced its national power, making it a target for some nations' indiscriminate slaughter. The eight-power Allied forces, which included the United States, Britain, Russia, France, and other nations, invaded China in 1900. Dividing up a significant portion of the country, China's area will unquestionably be the largest in the world if it's able to reclaim all of its lost territory in the future. As China continues to grow, more nations will take the initiative to return to the area that was once theirs because they want to maintain good relations with China. Russia has historically occupied more than 80,000 acres of Chinese territory as its neighbor. But as of right now, Russia has only given China back about 40,000 acres of land. What exactly is happening then? What does China think of Russia's strategy? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing great. In today's video, I'll let you know why Russia returns territories to China. Stay tuned with me till the end of this video. Without further ado, let's get started. Long disputed by Russia and China, Heixiazi Island is an outpost on the Amur River in the Far East. It has now been divided almost equally between the two neighbors. It's known as the Heixiazi Island in Chinese. Although there are plans to transform it into a significant hub for trade and travel, most Russians still reside in rundown homes with scant infrastructure. The study reveals that the area that Russia gave back to China is a piece of Heixiazi Island. The island is 58,800 meters long, 14,000 meters broad at its widest point, and has a total area of 82,780 acres. It's situated in Fuyuan City, Heilongjiang Province, China. The terrain is extremely flat, with an average altitude of roughly 40 meters. Since bears are also known locally as Heixiazi because there are more black bears in the area, everyone called the island Heixiazi Island. China set up the governor's office on Heixiazi Island as early as the Tang Dynasty. Moreover, this territory is a good place for tourism, with attractions such as Heixiazi Island Wetland Park, as well as wild animals such as red-crowned cranes and black cranes. Located in the easternmost point of China, it's the earliest place in China where the sun can be seen rising. When people have time, they can visit the island at will and feel the scenery on the island. Today, Heixiazi Island has also been turned into a scenic spot by China, and many people visit the island every year, which has also contributed to the economic development of Heilongjiang. Many times, eunuchs from the Ming Dynasty traveled to Heilongjiang via Heixiazi Island. There are reports of Chinese people residing on Heixiazi Island, and the Qing court established a checkpoint at its eastern corner in 1854. There's ample proof that Heixiazi Island has been a part of China's territory for a very long period. How crucial is Heixiazi Island to China then? A total of 40,000 acres, or half of the Heixiazi Island, were returned by Russia. For China, regaining this territory would be a strategic victory that would demonstrate the country's growing power. In today's complex international situation, the partnership between China and Russia has reached a new height. Russia needs China's help most when it's at odds with the West. When Russia's economic difficulties require external financial assistance, China will lend a helping hand. In the face of the United States' suppression of China, Russia, as the first shield, has also reduced a lot of trouble for China. Moreover, China imported a large amount of Russian oil and gas, which directly aided troubled Russia. It's precisely because of this that China and Russia have become good allies, and China has the opportunity to recover part of the Heixiazi Island. So why did Russia only return half of the territory of Heixiazi Island to China? In fact, on the issue of taking back the Heixiazi Island, China also insisted on letting Russia return it in its entirety. The Soviet Union held control of China's Heixiazi Island for more than 80 years. However, given the circumstances at the time, China lacked the power to invade the Soviet Union. China was never given a chance to retake its region after relations between the Soviet Union and China improved. Later, when Russia took over ownership of this territory from the Soviet Union, the Sino-Russian relationship improved and the situation altered. We are all aware that in order for nations to have positive and fruitful diplomatic relations, they must respect one another, look for areas of agreement, and put aside their disagreements. It appears that this idea is shared by both China and Russia. Although Russia and China do not now share a doctrinal stance, they do share a disdain against dissent, a great mistrust of Western meddling, and a strong desire to impose more stringent controls on their own populations, similar to Putin's previous campaign to subdue Russian oligarchs and squash political opposition. Mr. Xi has presided over an initiative to combat corruption and strengthen the Communist Party's influence in the economy and society at large. Russia's legislation restricting non-governmental organizations served as an inspiration for China, and Russian authorities have praised China's extensive internet censorship and social credit scheme to rating residents according to their devotion and behavior. However, China learned during the negotiations that the Heixiazi Island contains a significant amount of Russian-built infrastructure, including churches. It's not very convenient for China to deal with these facilities if they return the entire Heixiazi Island. Later, China made the decision to only recapture half of Heixiazi Island after taking historical and practical considerations into account. This helps to sustain Sino-Russian ties and can actively encourage the thorough growth of the economies of the two nations. China and Russia have established Heixiazi Island as a link between the two countries for peaceful relations, adhering to the principle of mutual benefit, win-win results, and common development. The Heixiazi Island has also played a part in long-term development as a link, making the relationship between China and Russia closer and closer. China has always cherished peace and worked hard to protect it. The two ethnic groups still live in harmony on what is now known as Heixiazi Island. The Heixiazi Island, an emblem of Sino-Russian friendship, was returned by Russia. Sino-Russian relations have quickly improved since Russian President Vladimir Putin took office. Given that both nations are current world powers, mutual collaboration and shared development will inevitably become the norm. Along with close military and technical cooperation, the two nations also have strong economic ties. The two nations will undoubtedly come to an understanding through patient negotiation and finally properly resolve the historical differences. It's believed that the relevant Japanese authorities have publicly stated that China's GDP will surpass that of the United States in 2028 as a result of the changes in the global economic landscape in 2020. The International Monetary Fund even made the audacious claim that China may surpass the US sooner than expected in 2026. This demonstrates how powerful China's overall national strength is. However, China was a desolate, dishonest, and underdeveloped society 100 years ago. Due to its weakness, China was bullied and invaded by numerous nations under the Qing Dynasty. Now, it's different. Another indication of China's current prosperity is the return of the Heixiazi Island to its country. The Chinese people had to endure persecution in the past, and when their area was taken, they lacked the guts and fortitude to recover it. As China announces plans to develop its side of Heixiazi as a tourist resort with hotels and a free trade shopping center, foreign money is now ready to pour in. The Heilongjiang administration in the area has plans to develop the military-protected off-limits area so that it competes with Sanya in the northern winter and draws affluent visitors from the region's neighboring countries of South Korea, Japan, and Russia. To develop Heixiazi, the government intends to spend the equivalent of about $1.47 billion US, leaving the Russians to catch up on their side of the island. China of today can be counted among the world's nations and will never allow another country to infringe on its territory or sovereignty. In the future, more and more land will be reclaimed as China gets stronger and stronger. Soon, China will be able to achieve peaceful reunification. We've reached the end of my video. If you have any opinions, let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching the video. If you find the video very interesting, please like and share it with your family and friends. Also, subscribe to my channel and explore more about important events